What's happening? Okay. All right, I think we are ready to go. Shall I start? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري واشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. What is going on here? Something strange going on. Okay, something is strange going on. I couldn't understand. All right, still it is good. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We have been studying this section, the Qur'an from Naml, section Naml, and we studied some verses before 62, and today, inshallah, we are going to start from verse 66, 2. Section 27, verse 62. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون. Now this verse is translated very simply and very roughly. Who is it that answers the distressed when they call upon him? Who removes their suffering? Who makes you successor in the earth? That is the one who removes their suffering, makes you successors in the earth. Could there be any divine power beside him? Little notice you take, how little you reflect. There are interesting concepts here. Of course, the most important is very relevant to our present-day life, especially who is it that answers the distressed when they call upon him? Now, most of the people, when they are distressed, rather than calling upon Allah, God, they call something else. I think maybe mostly complaining about God. Why is it happening to me? I think you know better. Why why me that I'm chosen? And also we have to understand distress, any kind of distress, for example, from physical illness, psychological dissatisfaction, or this kind of, any kind of illness that we may be suffering from, which is, in fact, is the case for everyone, but not be very heavy that people don't realize and don't get really feel that something is going on wrong in their life. Just if something doesn't happen in our life that we don't like, we get disappointed. So why it didn't work out? Why it didn't work out? And why something happened which I didn't want it to happen to me that I didn't want it? Why? Lots of things. Even you go and, for example, see that something is cracked. Well, utilities, for example, utilities, a tool or spoon or something. And then we start complaining. We get disappointed. Of course, apart from this, many other heavy distresses that people may suffer. They cannot, I think you know better, they cannot get up from their bed. They cannot even stand up in the morning and draw their curtain back so the sunlight will come and window there. Because in my own experience, I've seen such people. They can't move. And they are under very heavy psychological dissatisfaction, and they keep complaining rather than calling upon God, but maybe complaining about God. So there are degrees, endless degrees. Maybe every human's experience of distraction is different. All right. What do we do? Do we call upon God, first of all, really, consciously for help? But some religious people call upon God. They expect a response from God. This is your field. I'm sorry, but you can help me. They expect from God what they want. Usually what they want, something miraculous to happen. But this is the nature of the universe. God created the universe in such a way, such an order, that the order doesn't change, and the order doesn't really treat every individual separately, but according to the free will that the individuals use, God responds back through his order. That is his order. For example, if I get, I'm cutting something very simple, very simple. If the knife doesn't work as I want, if I get angry, what happens? Why it doesn't work? What happens? Then I get disappointed, and then maybe say, please God, what is it? And break the knife. And reacted. Am I praying God to help me? Or am I getting angry with God because he created the order in this way that I am not adapting myself to it? So I'm not using my free will to have an attitude which is compatible with the way that the order of the universe, the creation of the universe works. So of course it doesn't work. For example, if I don't use my free will, that I have to get up. Because of some disappointments, I condition myself, really believing that I cannot get up, so they cannot get up. Because if you believe that you cannot do something, you can't do it. But if you have hope for God's help, then it helps you. For example, again, the simple example just came to my mind. The knife doesn't cut as I want. For example, the knife needs to be used in a proper way that you can, the expert people know how to use it. So you got this knife, seeing that in a butcher, the butcher is using a knife, which is excellent. So you got them both one, but it is specialized in using this specific professional knife. You are not specialized. It doesn't work. So rather than saying, calm down, trust God, this knife is supposed to work according to the order of the way that the God creates. This is very important to have an adaptable attitude, so you will use your free will according to the requirement of the order. What we do, we usually do it other way around. We want the order to adapt itself to my will, to my wish. What does it mean? It is not a simple matter at all. If I say, why the order, the creation doesn't work as I want, what does it mean? I am asking or expecting the creator to obey my free will, my choice, my responsibility. But I don't see it as a responsibility, because usually what we do, we see it or we accept it, we take it for granted. It is my, not responsibility, it is my right to expect God to create what I want as I want. I say, you cannot employ the creator of the universe to your wish, to go and do the things as if God is your slave. But of course, I tried with one of my students like this. He was suffering from heavy stress. I explained this way somehow, explain it, and he got really angry with me. Did you have this experience? Did he have? He got really angry with me, and he complained that I am cheating people as a consultant. Yeah, because I was the student advisor. You know, he's not an advisor. He just criticized the people. But I said, no, don't ask God, expect God to be your slave. But if you like, even though I don't like the word slave, but you are the slave of God. It means you have to obey as he decides. It means, what are we going to do in this world? Either I will submit my will to God's will, or there is no in between. If I criticize, I am expecting God to follow my will. That is really contradictory to each other. As far as I know, maybe you may find, the experts may find another way, there is no third way. Either we have to submit, or we expect God to submit, which is impossible. Why? You have to take your position as your reality and accept it. You are a created being. You are not expected to be the creator, and the real creator of the universe is your creature, your slave, so that he will serve you. So God says it is interesting word. أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَ إِذَا دَعَاهُ. Who is it that answers the prayer of the dua, in calling of the distressed one, when they call upon, as they think without realizing that they are really calling upon God, but they don't have the concept of God. That is the problem. They say, yeah, I'll come to you. They say, you know, when they say God, they believe in a concept in a religious context, a God is something, but they don't really realize who God is. That is why they said, I'm praying God and it doesn't help me, in a loose way. I think you have something to say. Did you?
I wanted to share something. I think a mistake I used to do is
Sorry?
a mistake I used to do when I'm in a distressed time, I would look for what's wrong with the environment I'm in or what's wrong with me. So I would always assume that the distress is coming from something around me or something within me. And then I felt like, well, this is a mistake. The feeling I'm feeling right now is a created feeling. If I do acknowledge that the owner and the designer of the feeling is only God, then when I actually call on him, I'm calling on him because he has all the power. Instead of directing my attention to, oh, it must be this person who made me feel this way, or it must be that thought that made me feel this way. And then it's almost like I'm stealing power from God and giving it to other things. And so when I pray to him, I'm not really confident that he has all the power to give me or guide me into a different feeling. Yeah.
Now, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good analysis. So let's move a bit further now. Who removes their suffering? It is again interesting. ويكشف السوء. Anything bad that I expect, this is bad, and describe it and define it, it is something bad. So who is it that who can remove? The verse doesn't say can, but I am saying I have to think. Who can remove it? That he will remove it. So yakshif, remove it, something. If something is covered, you uncover it. It means solve the problem. Okay, who can do it? Now we have to bear in mind, even I go to a doctor or a therapist, still the answer, the result will be created by God. That is what I have to know. Because consultant or the doctor himself cannot cure you. Even if I take the medicine, still I have to admit, not the medicine it takes, but if I take the medicine, which is prepared according to, medicine are prepared according to what? That's your subject. According to the order of the universe. The pharmacists, what do they do in their lab? What do? They search. What do they search? We have to always bear in mind this reality. I repeat this reality. They search how the order of the universe works. In fact, how God responds to certain problems. Here is suffering. How God responds to a certain problem. So the therapists must be careful. What they are doing, they are not curing people. They are searching how God's will. It means the order is a manifestation of his will. Now we have to know that. So how God's will manifests in this world in the form of the creation, which is called order of the creation. So you are working on it and learning how the order of the universe, it means how God really answers something to any request of human being. And then when you be expert and specialize in certain matters, you go deeper and deeper, and you find this is the way how order works. But a believing person, it means this order cannot happen by itself. And it must be arranged by the one who knows the whole universe and then creates it in this order. He knows it. So what I am doing, I am trying to find out, discover how his will is manifesting, demonstrating. Now I found his way of curing it. That is a believing person. If someone doesn't believe in it, what do they say? I am trying to find how the order is working, and I'm going to get the medicine or prepare the medicine accordingly and manufacture it. But that is that if they don't believe that the order of the universe is created by an absolute conscious being, they say naturally it happens in this way. Now, they may think that who removes their suffering? Nature removes their suffering. But it is not subject, our just touch upon it and pass. What is nature? This is the most important question we have to keep asking. What is nature? What do you mean by it? The thing itself. What is the thing? You call it the nature, the thing, and the thing, the nature. So we have to understand that this is, if something exists, definitely human mind understand there must be cause of existence. And we have to investigate what is the cause of existence. I cannot attribute any result to anything that is the result of something else. It means it is already given existence by something else. It cannot give existence to anything because it cannot bring anything which didn't exist into existence. So their interpretation, if wrong, is wrong. But of course, what they are doing, in fact, they are really calling upon God. Whether they are conscious of it or not, they are calling upon God and getting the result from Him. But if they don't admit it, that is their responsibility. But now I'm generalizing the case now. What are we doing here in this world? It means, why are we struggling doing? Because doing this work, that work. I mean, all of us busy with doing lots of things, in this world. Why are we doing all this? Because physically we understand and we see that I am. Simple example, it's best. A simple example is best. There are two farmers. That's my classical, simple, but working example. Two farmers, one of them is a believer, the other one is not. Both of them does the same job. Both of them does get the same result. Harvest is the same. Believer is not favored. Apparently. Why apparently? Yeah, both of them get, let us say, 100 pounds of produce. One of them has it from nature. The other one receives it from the creator of the universe. What does it mean now? He is the absolute being. So I am receiving it from the creator of the universe as his favor for me. Although the amount is the same, but when I get it, all my feelings say, the one who created this food knows me and exactly creates the food as my being needs it. Both of us known to him. Nature doesn't know me. Nature is blind. Or it doesn't work, but it doesn't realize. What is the difference? Our responsibility in this world is not really to work, but We will work. That is how we are created. While we are working, my responsibility is to recognize, what am I doing? Either communicating with nature, which means blind nature, because matter is blind. Blind means really dumb. Matter doesn't know. The matter has to happen within the order as they are created. They have no other choice. But as they are created. But that is what they are expecting from their results. Of course, when they have 100 pounds of produce, it is only good for them, for your body, for their body, not for their human spirit, human feelings. Human feelings still feel stressed. Why? Still, stomach is full, yeah. My house is good. I pleased with it, but I'm losing my life. At the end, I will be dead and nothing. No hope. How about human feelings? Just the opposite. I want full satisfaction. Can they get it? Impossible. But how a believer gets full satisfaction from the same amount of produce? When they have it, they understand, they realize that this is a grace from the creator of the universe. It's a gift to me. He knows me, he prepares me. So he knows me because he is my creator as well. I'm a part of this universe. He is my creator. So he created this feelings within me. Only he can satisfy it, because these feelings are looking for permanent satisfaction. And nature gives you gives to your body temporary satisfaction until you die. Disappointment, the other one is full of hope. According, it is realistic. That is, my feelings are there. For example, if I have something according to my expectations, do you feel happy?
According to your expectations?
Yeah, but you got something according to your expectations. You said, that is what I wanted.
I could
Feel?
be happy, yeah.
Yes, it is human. So your feeling said, I need full satisfaction. Of course, the one who gave me this feeling can give me or must give me, because he promised.
Mhm.
These feelings are promised. We should never, ever forget this. This promise is just a promise. These feelings are promised from their creator. So who created them? The one who created the universe. So we have to combine this now. Even the therapists, the medical practitioners or pharmacists should know that whether they acknowledge it or not, in fact, they are getting their result or giving their advice according to the will of the creator. If they acknowledge it, they get full satisfaction. If they don't acknowledge it, they get the amount of money they get from the patient, from their patients or clients. Do you understand the difference? It's a great difference. How about the clients or patients? They get satisfaction from you, from the therapist, and bodily, psychological satisfaction impossible, because therapist is going to die. You are going to, he or she is going to die, and at the end, their feelings remain not responded and satisfied. This is what we have to understand, what Iman means. We usually relate Iman and belief or disbelief to hereafter. If I believe in the hereafter, I will be rewarded with paradise. If you don't experience it here? How would you confirm this unknown creation to you, not practiced now? Did I make it clear or not?
No.
If you don't experience and confirm something, how would you be fully satisfied that this news from a book, from a person, because Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam, but I'm speaking at a personal level, a man in Saudi Arabia, happened to be 1400 years ago, promised people that there will be a hereafter.
The confirmation of the satisfaction.
Practical satisfaction now that this promise is really true. I experience it. For example, you listen to the professor. Professor said, if you do this, you will get this result. A chemical reaction, for example. And you will be successful there. Professor said it. I mean, but it's a professor. So, but Muhammad والسلام, is an illiterate man. That's not a professor at the same time. That is not much convincing really at all. An illiterate man told you something. If you receive it from an illiterate man, you will never ever believe it. But why we believe it? Because he received it from the creator of the universe. If it is the creator of the universe who's promising this, I must be able to experience his promise within this world now. Because he is the one who is the creator of the universe. We have to combine and tie them up together. The word, the promise, from in Revelation, God is the one who is creating the universe. God is the one who is creating me. Now, complete the triangular now. I use this triangular always. God is the creator of universe, therefore creator of me. So I must be convinced with his promise. That is completed now. If I experience it in this world, I will say, yes, really. But what we do, it is very interesting. What we practically do it in this world, you are in my mind. Practically. Please, God, let me pass my exam. Unexpectedly, without really getting ready for it, I passed my exam. My prayer is, God said promises in the Quran, also promises, Udu'ini astajib lakum. Definitely, if I pray to me, I will respond back to you. He didn't respond. So this verse is wrong because it contradicted my experience. Because we understand that prayer means just only saying, and it is magically happened. The universe's order doesn't change. God doesn't change his order of creation according to your unsubstantiated prayer, saying that I won't be really ready for the exam, and because of my prayer, I will pass. As if God will give me a favor and change his way of creating, which is full of contradiction that we are going through mostly. So we have to be very careful. When you study your consciousness, that memory is what he gave me, and the time is the opportunity what he gave me, and I is another means he gave me, and the sense of responsibility he gave me. What I did, I only chose according to the order of his creation. I studied and passed. My prayer is accepted. What about verbal prayers? verbal prayers are expressing your understanding in a verbal way, because we human beings express our need. For example, if you go to a store and say, please give me, like this. What? I have to speak. I have to say. If I don't speak, I have to write it down and show it. I want a pound of onion. so you have to speak. You are created in this way. Obey the way you are created. That is what we are doing. And at the same time, we may say verbally, please God, I did it with the consciousness of you. So I believe the result is from you. I admit I present it to you. Prayer must be presentation of what I have done, my consciousness that it is I have done by obeying the order of the Creator. And expressing it is verbal prayer. Otherwise, you are ill, you don't feel well, and don't go to doctor, don't do anything. Please, Allah, cure my will. What have you done? What have you done? Have you obeyed, and are you conscious of that? Even while you are obeying, you are really communicating with the Creator. That's what, who removes their suffering? We have to question this. Yeah? And men yekshifu su, it means. Because the structure of the men yujibul mudarra idha da'ahu, we yekshifu, it means a man yekshifu su at the same time. I mean, those people who know Arabic, it's a very simple one. Yes, my friend. Khalid.
It sounds like it's impossible to be emotionally healthy without understanding this reality that there's a Creator who gives to you. Because even if all your physical needs are taken care of, there's an emotional thing where we need to know that we're here, we're being taken care of, and that there's a way to be in this world that makes sense, as opposed to, because if you don't have this, you just have chaos. What's happening? Where's it going? Who am I? What's this all for? And you lose sleep, you find unhealthy ways to cope, addictions. This tells you where you are, basically, from what it sounds like.
So young people, of course, I was young once upon a time, so I used to do the same thing. Excuse me. Wait for the deadline. So the deadline just approaches. 3 days ago, I have to work with a panic, not comfortable, and sacrifice from my sleep. When I don't get enough sleep, my mind is swinging everywhere. Swoopy, really swimming on a liquid place or surface. And I am studying all night. I study, but everything, when the question sits for the test, when the question is, I know this, what was it? What? Of course, you didn't have enough sleep, you didn't obey the order, you didn't take your time. So what all demonstrates us that God is teaching us how we should communicate with him according to his will. I have to follow his will, not expect him to follow my will. So by doing this in time, resting, being comfortable, doing your job in time properly, that is the order. If you follow this, then whatever comes is God's will now. You did your job, whatever is created, that is God's choice. Then we have to understand the wisdom in it. I said, if we can do this verse today, alhamdulillah. So who removes their suffering is the key question that the Quran asks now.
So you might be answering it right now, but basically the way you interpret, or the way I'm hearing you interpret it, sounds almost as though when I look at this verse, it puts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at a very actionative position, right? We get the image of Qadala is listening to the answers of the people praying and actually removing whatever calamity might be happening. And that's a very direct approach versus the idea of the order of the will experience. So where is that? Does that show up, or does that not show up, or is it only order of the will?
Yeah. When what we understand, there is another dimension which I has not touched upon it. As far as our starting point, initial point must be, I have to expect the result will come out as much as according to the order of the universe, because this is a very general application of the will of the Creator. But one point which is harder to grasp, but we have to work on it. You understand, inshallah, very clear. Who is the creator of the universe? Now the question is, who? Let me see his work. Yeah? When I look at his work, I will understand who the creator of the universe is. Who means that there is no way of saying that, oh, it is God. What do you mean by God? It is just not the answer at all. What do you mean by God? What I am saying, who is the maker of the or establisher of the order of the universe? It means who is God? What you call God as the creator of the universe. So don't be contradictory with yourself, within yourself. So God is the creator of the universe. When I say who is the creator of the universe, the same question, then the same thing. But God concept may not have a substantial base for it in my understanding. That is why question must be asked rather than who is God, who is the creator of the universe? Or even more realistically, who can be the creator of the universe? Who can be? Let me see the work, then I can understand. Don't use my pre-accepted family culture. Family culture doesn't help you. You have to develop your own way. Every individual is created really uniquely. Individual, unique individual, equal to the universe. That is what the Quran refers to. So you have to take care of your responsibility. Look at the work, what we see in the work. It's an amazing work. What? Whole universe is established on a perfect order. Okay. Each part also is established perfectly within the order. And what is really, it goes deeper than this. Each part says, the one who created me and put me in this position, in the order, everything has a mission appointed to it. So put me in the position, look, he, in such a way that it says, the one who put me here must be the one who the whole universe. And everything within each other, all the component layers, endless layers of creation. So let's start from as far as the experts say, particles are the known, the smallest part. From the particles, what happens? Electrons happen. From the electrons, what happens? With other elements together, perfectly atom. But in the existence of each being here, if you ask a physicist, he will really tell you that that is the case. Each each being here has the same quality as the whole universe has it. It is so amazing. Each cell in your body has the same quality, potential quality as your body has. That is why each DNA, let me give a simple example, much simple. Each fruit has one or more, but at least one seed in it. At least one. Each seed has the quality of the whole tree. Whatever the seed you take from any fruit, put it according to the order of the universe, obeying it, it gives the tree. It is already promised that there, the one who created the seed, one seed, let's say, even make it more amazing, fig seed. Every fig seed in human hormones, for example, every piece, they call it sperma, has the same quality, potential quality to become a human being. And they say one fish, when it lays its egg, 1 million fish is promised to be created. Why? Each of them is as perfect as the fish is. That is amazing. No human being can get closer to this work at all. What am I bringing? Why am I bringing the subject to your question, deep question? So when we look at this unimaginably significant work, demonstrates that its creator cannot be thought of in terms of this universe. Plus, that's not the only one. We should never ever forget the order of the universe. Within the order of the universe, everything is continuously recreated in a new form. Yesterday's Khalid is not like today's Khalid. You are a different creation today. And this amazing order in change, within the order, it amazes me. It amazes me. Every single being is changed, but order doesn't change. What does it mean? Absolutely, absolute one is the creator, has the qualities. So, do you think he creates every individual of, let's make it simple, human being, differently from the rest of 6-7 billion of human beings?
Yes.
There is no equal. You are a unique man, so precious. So, the one who creates this, the one who performs this act, promising me that, take care of yourself, I will treat you personally. I will treat you personally too, don't worry. You are not ignored. I can do this, but it is mind-blowing. That's why we say, I cannot really describe God. So when we are doing any action, consciously or unconsciously, we are communicating with this creator personally, and he is aware of it. He is the creator of everybody's action, individually unique to this person. Knowing that when I pray God, I'm not going to be neglected. Definitely, as I exist, guarantees that the one who gives me today's existence cannot ignore me at all. I am a special case in his eyes. But at the same time, you can say, you are a special case in his eyes. This reminded me of a funny story. There was a poor man sitting in the masjid. But maybe real, may not be real, but really demonstrating in the reality. A man was asking, please God, give me $10 or $5 for my lunch, please God. And the other man came, $5? He took the wallet, give $5. Man, stop, so that God will pay attention to me. Go away. Okay, his prayer is answered. Eh? That's it. The other was, I need 1 million. No, you know, he did his best, but you are not sincere. You thought that I will be only busy with one man's prayer at once. Impossible. I'm not that man. It means you don't recognize me. You don't know who you are praying to. That's why your prayer is not answered. We have to believe and be confident, not have a belief like, don't misunderstand, I'm not attacking Christianity. So as the Christians think, you know, what was the point?
To be saved, you need to believe.
Sorry?
To be saved, you need to believe.
Ah, yeah. You have to have faith. Well, for example, especially about Jesus, has this quality, that quality. How can it be? How can it be? How God has this kind of relationship with what something he created, equal almost the next second to each other, lots of, you know, much better than I do, this messing up with the Trinity. So but you got to have faith. Islam says you got to think. Don't they reflect on it? That is why we are presenting to you our verses, ayat in the book, in the universe, in order to let you think about it. Not you got to have faith. That's unfortunate. Sometimes our Muslim friends also use the same thing. You have to have strong faith, strong faith. I cannot buy it, or why? No, you have to have it. What does it mean? I'm not satisfied. It's so simple. So we have to understand that who removes your suffering? That is what we have to concentrate on. Understand who can remove my suffering. Personal suffering.
Is the removal of the suffering because I follow the order?
Yes.
Or is it because God granted the removal of the suffering?
God?
Is it the removal of suffering because I followed the order?
Yeah.
Or is it because God granted the removal of the suffering?
Both the same. Whether it depends on your consciousness. When you are really obeying the order, submitting your will to God's will, if you are conscious of it, you obey the order. I gave 2 farmers example. One of them gets the suffering materially solved. The other one gets the suffering really substantially solved, because God is God. When I obey God, he responds my prayer. So trust in God means trust in absolute being. The other one is trusting an advisor or therapist. And this therapist solves one problem. There is another problem, or it reemerges it, comes again to this therapist, rather than saying that, I've got it. This is the principle. I have to follow the order. I shouldn't be expecting any special treatment if I don't follow the order, means if I don't follow God's will, if I don't submit my will to God's will. That is the difference, that one of them gets essential satisfaction or healing, the other one gets local, temporary healing. That is how the nature of the reality of the order of the universe works. It means God is really revealing himself through the creation and letting the observer, conscious human beings, how he is going to treat me. If I do this, I will get this result. If I do this, I will get this result. This is God's promise. So we have to trust. When we get the result, it means our suffering is removed. We will say, who removed it? The one who knows me, the one who created the universe. I submitted my free will to his will. That is why he responded back. Otherwise, I am calling you. I said, okay, do you mind your name mentioned? No, okay. I'm calling Aya, but not really your telephone number. Could I communicate with you? But it must be the one according to your conditions. It means this number communicates with me, or this number can be used to communicate with me. No other way. That is the principle. That is the number example here really corresponds to the order, which is, that is what very simple, in fact. Inshallah, I didn't make it very complicated. Very simple, in fact. The order of the universe is manifestation of God's will. Whether I am conscious of it or not, if I am just wrapping up now, the time is up. Inshallah, we discovered this. Could there be any divine power besides somebody? Ilahun ma'allah? No. Ilahun ma'allah, we have been studying several times. It is going to be repeated in these verses. So we studied like this. Is there anyone who creates the universe other than the one who creates it? Otherwise, all the creatures cannot have any divine power at all. They are all dependent. So it is impossible to imagine. But God again asks, Ilahun ma'allah. We studied this last week. So I'll just pass on it now. So that is very simple, in fact. Our responsibility is very simple, very reasonably acceptable. It is rational. Somebody may say, you are rationalizing religion. Well, I'm a rational being. I cannot deny myself. How am I created? That is my way of order that I am created in. So I have to admit it. Very simple. The case is very simple. If we realize, and it, in fact, everybody realizes, able to realize, but admit my ego, arrogance, leave my arrogance behind. I am a created being. Admit this. I have a creator. Who is my creator? The creator of the whole universe. Cannot be. If someone says, your mother and father created you, they didn't know even who I was and what was happening. The mother was complaining. That's it. Not that they're making me. He didn't know at all. How can she be? Your father has nothing to do with me now. At all, he's working somewhere else. So we have to be realistic. Whoever created the universe created me as well. I am. So the way the universe is created, I am giving the ability to understand this. Very simple. the way it is created is the manifestation of God's will, introducing himself to me through his work. If I acknowledge it, I am a part of this whole order. So I have to be in a connection with the rest of it according to the order. In order to speak to you on the phone, I have to use your telephone number. That is the order of the universe. But if I don't obey it, I will never, ever get the result. But my consciousness gives me a hope, real hope, which is not really wishful thinking, real hope that my old desires of all of my feelings will be responded by this one. Because, for example, somebody tells me, Ali, if you want to delete something, you have to press on this button. I did once, and it worked. And then I say, how about this button? Let me give you an instruction. All this instruction that I learned from taught me delete button deletes the whatever you text you wrote on it on the screen. Whatever is on the screen, it deletes it. You understood? Yeah. Follow this instruction. Tells you what is going on in this universe, all of them. So follow it. Follow it. Trust, because it worked. One is worked, you trust it. And then follow the order. Oh, you see that, oh, it's really unwrapping or unraveling all the secrets of the machine. Then you feel comfortable. If you don't trust the promise of the Creator through the creation, you will never, ever get satisfaction. Temporary solutions may only work until you die, but in a temporary base. But your feelings cannot be satisfied with temporary satisfaction. So the capacity of your feelings are infinite. So that is why we have to understand that belief in God cannot be separated from the way the universe is demonstrating to me. So any conclusion in belief without basing it is evidence, observation of the universe. Even man say, yo, I believe in the Quran. Why? So that is why I base my belief in the Quran. It sounds so religious. It is fake. Why fake? Quran says, my evidence of truthfulness, claim for truthfulness, my evidence is my work out there. Look at the word. Look at the word. Unzur ila athar rahmatillah. Look at the work of God, merciful work of God, so that you can confirm my news. This is not a magical thing, very simple, but unfortunately, we prefer in our practical life to shortcut. Quran says so, I believe in it. But you have to confirm it through physical world. Why? Do you think the universe is nothing? Universe is created for nothing. That is why most of the believers, unfortunately, even the students of the Quran or the followers of the Quran ignore the creation for their belief foundation. So go back to the Quran and imitate the knowledge in the Quran. Imitation cannot give satisfaction. That is why it doesn't have effect on our life. We cannot really submit our will to God's will in our life. I don't really give the priority to God to decide about my affairs. That is why when it comes to practical side of communicating with God, I cannot do it. Weak. Weakness comes from not fully satisfaction. No, not fully satisfied. That is why weakness comes there. So if you are a worker, and if someone says, come and do this work, make me a house, yeah. So you will pay for the material and everything. The land is mine, okay? And what happened? I will give you your money, don't worry. Would you make the house and then expect him to pay? Or the first thing they write in the contract, beforehand, down payment 25%. After work is done, a quarter of the work is done, another 25%. Before the work is done, get the money and then do it. Because just verbal promise doesn't mean anything. That is why we have to understand the Qur'an. Without the witnessing of the universe, doesn't satisfy. Only we think it does, because our belief usually is based on imitation, cultural. That is why people don't change like you. They don't change. Like you means as you did change. The people don't, because I don't know how many years have you been searching. It's not one event. In one night we woke up that I like to become a Muslim. No. It doesn't work in this way. I've never seen anyone doing that. Those people who do it, they do it on a temporary base, and they are done. But permanently, no, it doesn't work. So we have to search and question. That's why the societies or the people, we are about to finish. Yeah, okay. Are you around? Quick one, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is why people remain as they are. That is very surprising. China and some part of India, for thousands, not more than thousands, thousands, millenniums, Buddhist. That's it. Why? They are Buddhists. Why? We are Buddhists. We are Buddhists. And follow it blindly. Unfortunately, Muslims are doing the same thing. Christians are doing the same thing. Jews, that's so interesting. The Judaism nowadays, not original Judaism nowadays, lately Judaism became a racial religion. So they don't accept converts. Why? Have you noticed why? They don't accept converts. Why? Why? Because their understanding is based on race. For example, I don't like using the name. So your race is not coming from a Muslim family. Yeah. Okay. If Islam doesn't make sense to you anymore, you leave it. But a person who belongs to the children of Israel, even they don't believe in Judaism, they don't believe in God, they are still Jewish, so they take care of Jewish interest rather than Judaic interest, because their religion is based on race. That is the unique to them. They cannot change it, they say. But they don't believe in Judaism. Doesn't matter, you are a Jew. Like, you don't believe in something, but you are something. You know, you are a German, you are a French, whatever. The most of the people are Irish or whatever. So they refer to a racial That is why the Muslim people also are inclined to base their religion through their ancestral line. Yeah, I have been all my generations, we have been all Muslims. It is the turning of Islam into Judaism tradition. This is a very dramatic position. Nationalism among the Muslim countries are the biggest alarm, red alarm bleeping. We have to be very careful of these realities, inshallah. These are something sideways. But inshallah, we understood this verse today. So who removes their suffering? It is the biggest question that we have to concentrate on and understand. It is not that simple. I'm going to only follow the order and the guaranteed. Everybody is uniquely treated. And if you are not conscious of the creator of the order, then your satisfaction is temporary, definitely. As a human being, it doesn't work permanently, and it comes up again, you know better, I think. All the people, we visited an hospital. I was doing my pastoral care training. They took us to a hospital where this alcoholic unanimous unit is working. And of course, they have to be professional with us. And we are not clients. They say, we are doing all this job. Really, they really convinced this or said this to. And I heard it. This is not narration. So whatever we do, 1 or 2 years later, they come back again. I said, it's interesting. It is not, oh, you see, medicine doesn't work, religion works. No, how? I have to do, I thought about, why? It doesn't really give a permanent satisfaction. Although, when the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, introduced the religion, the Qur'an and the religion, what happened? The people were exposed to the religion, radically changed their life. How? Not only I believe in God and I pray 5 times a day. No, the way they walk, the way they do their brush their teeth, the way, I don't know, dress, they eat, their diet, everything changed. From, at least from toe to top, the head to toe, changed. Everything changed. They left everything cultural behind. This revolution is peerless in human history in 23 years' time. In 23 years, the complete change. Of course, afterwards, depending on people, how honest they were, the test, Allah's training is free to everyone. Of course, the people may go back or go further. That is up to them. But in fact, it should change everything. That what the news of the Quran really gives us, so that rather than everything, their understanding changed, their sleep routine changed, their lifestyle changed. There is nothing in their life that didn't change. It's very interesting. The way they walk changed. Because the God said, they don't, وَلَا تَمْشِي فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا, in an arrogant way. No, be modest with people. Modest with people. And while you are walking on the street, don't show off. So what we are, alhamdulillah, this is a great, great blessing from Allah. We have to benefit from it. It is not difficult. Submission is the key point. Believing and submitting to what we believe. Then belief should not be on the tongue, really satisfied. How? Work on it more and more. Concentrate what is going on in this world. And also see the Quran, how they are related. As if Quran works here, you are the traveler, Quran is the GPS. So it tells you this way, this way, this way, and then you try, oh, it's working, it's working, it's working, more and more confident. Yeah. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة اللهم صل